Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Knowledge Hub session. We have with us Dr. Ketna, who's going to be conducting today's session on building mind maps and having a growth mindset. She's the regional mentor of change herself and has helped students with a lot of exercises she'll be doing with us today. So we're really excited to host her. We would like to keep today's session interactive and with things that you can actually work on, exercises you can personally conduct for yourself. And for that, I would like to say that the way we structured today's session is that for the first part of the session, Dr. Ketna will be walking you through a presentation she's prepared with information and other activities and exercises that you can follow. And then following that, we'll open it up for questions and discussions. So right now, you might not be able to unmute yourself, but when we reach that part, you will be able to unmute yourself and ask questions. And you'll also be able to use the chat to put your questions there. So with that, ma'am, over to you.
Thank you. I'll just share my screen.
Yes, please.
Okay. So without further ado, starting with the topic growth mindset and building mind map. So these two are very powerful words. Specifically growth mindset, it's a very powerful concept, and building mind maps, it's a very powerful tool. So we will see that what it is and how we can utilize it for optimization, not only for us, for our students, for our community, for our schools, or whatever, whichever field we are working with. So I would just share with whatever these things are already available, nothing researched by me or nothing created by me. I will be just presenting the summary of whatever I have learned. The concept growth mindset. The concept of mindset itself was being given forward by Carol Dweck. She is the professor of psychology at Stanford University, and for decades she has been experimenting with children and with all different kinds of people. And then she has put forward her whatever understanding what she got in the form of a book. And she has been sharing all the experiences with everyone. To start with, I will show you a brief introductory portion. You just pay attention to this video, and thereafter we will discuss it further.
If you operate in the world of sports or education, you've most likely heard of the term growth mindset. It's a concept that's sweeping the world and changing and improving the way that people learn. This powerful idea has been pushed forward by Stanford professor and best-selling author Carol Dweck.
For decades, I've been studying why some people succeed while people who are equally talented do not. And over the years, I've discovered that people's mindsets play a crucial role in this process.
These mindsets are really important when it comes to learning. Her work has uncovered two ways of thinking about skill and development. Some people have what's called a fixed mindset. They believe that skills and intelligence are set and you either have them or you don't. That some people are just naturally good at things while others are not. In short, they believe that you are not in control of your abilities. Other people have what's called a growth mindset, and they believe that skills and intelligence are grown and developed. So people who are good at something are good because they built that ability, and people who aren't are not good because they haven't done the work. In short, they believe that you are in control of your abilities. Really, the core idea here is people with a fixed mindset believe that skills are born. People with a growth mindset believe that skills are built. People with a fixed mindset believe that you can't or don't have to learn and grow. And people with a growth mindset do believe in their capacity to learn and grow. What work shows that mindsets have a major influence on people's ability to learn, and that people who utilize this growth mindset tend to learn, grow, and achieve more over time than people with a fixed. growth mindset really creates a solid foundation for great learning. And because of its power, companies, sports teams, and schools from all over the world are implementing this into their culture.
So what we have learned that there are two kinds of mindsets. People can have, even a single person can have two kinds of mindsets at the same time for different things. So there is a fixed mindset and there is a growth mindset. What does a person with a fixed mindset do? Or we would not say that a person, whenever we are having, like I can be having a fixed mindset at one point of time, can develop and by understanding into a growth mindset, or it can be vice versa. So whenever we talk about a fixed mindset, it's something that we would refrain from doing. Whenever there is some project which is being given to us, we would think that it is meant for intelligent people, it is meant for talented people, and I am not the one. So we keep ourselves away from success. We refrain ourselves from putting in the efforts and the hard work. Why is it so? Because there is something in our belief system which makes us think that this is not meant for me, because this is meant for people who are intelligent. This is meant for people who are more talented. So you definitely are saying that I am not the one. So this is what happens when you have the fixed mindset. On the other hand, if a person would have a growth mindset, it would induce certain feelings in them which will make them believe that yes, even if I do not have talent, even if I do not have intelligence, I can dedicate my time to that, I can work hard over it, and I can achieve the success still. So, yet I can achieve the success. This is what the growth mindset will think about. So, while I'm explaining all these things, you can try to correlate it with whatever experiences you have. Your experiences, anybody in your family, anybody amongst the students, anywhere, so that it becomes more relatable. So what happens whenever a challenging situation is there or a challenge is being thrown, if you're working in a company or you are working on a project, you are working with students as a mentor. So any place, even as a parent, if some challenge is coming, if you adopt a fixed mindset, you will try to avoid it. If somebody is giving you an offer, you will say, no, I don't want to do it. Maybe this is not the right time, or I'm not ready for it, or blah, 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 whatever reason. If I would adopt a growth mindset, I would say, okay, let me try it out. I will embrace the challenge. If there is some setback, if I was doing a business or I started with a project, but if I happen to have certain setbacks in between, I would easily give up if I am thinking that, okay, now this is enough, I cannot do further. Maybe I do not have the talent for that. But if somebody is having a growth mindset, that person will push through. When it is the time of effort, if you have an examination, a student is having an exam, and supposing a competitive exam is there, so only temporary efforts will be put forward by that student who is having a fixed mind, thinking that, okay, anyways, I'm not going to clear that exam. But if you have a growth mindset, or child has a growth mindset, they put it on high priority and will persist towards achieving the success or the result. If you get the feedback, you completed a project, then a child gets a feedback or you get a feedback, what you will come up with is justifications. Okay, I couldn't do that because this thing was the problem, that thing was the problem. Or you get frustrated, or you know that if the feedback is going to come from the parents, you will try to avoid them. You will not be willingly accepting that, because you will feel associated with your personal failure, as if that this is something which is being told to me only. So that creates a block and which will not let you grow further. But a person who is having a growth mindset will take that feedback constructively. Okay, you talk a lot. If somebody comes and says it to me, I will take it constructively. Okay, maybe I need to give a pause, I need to give some time so that they are able to understand. Therefore, I would be expecting a positive feedback from all of you also in between, so that it doesn't become a monotonous monologue sort of a interact. I want it to be interactive. And if you don't find it okay, you better tell me ahead of so that I can change the way I can express. So this is how we can think about different kinds of feedback. Belief system, the talent is inborn. Why that person thinks that way? Why this all entire channel, the challenge, the setback, efforts, why did the person with a fixed mindset behave like that? Was because he or she considered that talent was inborn. It was not their part, or they are not that sufficient enough to complete something. Whereas the person who is having the growth mindset will be building upon the ability. Even if that person is not having that, they will build. I will show you certain examples, and specifically we can see such examples in the field of sports. So how do you identify whether a person is having a fixed mindset or not, or whether you are having a fixed mindset or not? So whenever we are trying to give overemphasis on perfection before starting only, and then we say that no, this is, even if we want to go for a party, we will say that no, this dress or that dress, or we are wanting that everybody should be pleased. And there is a need to be happy and comfortable all the time. We are not okay, or the person is not okay with any kind of negative feedback, or is not ready to hear anything in turn. But the overemphasis is not given on the quality, on the content. Overemphasis is given on portraying it in a particular way, because there is a fear of failure. So how do we get to know? By observation. You can do self-observation, self-analysis, or if you are mentoring the group of students, then you can observe them closely. For each child, you can make a sort of a diagrammatic representation, which we will be talking in the second part of this. So there were few people who came across to me while I was discussing upon the mindsets in my earlier sessions. They said that no, growth mindset is something that somebody is born with. Not everybody can have growth mindset. There are some people who will always talk negative. There are some people who are positive all the time, or some people show high resilience. But let me tell you one thing, that this is only a mindset. It's the way your brain is connecting, your neurons are connecting with each other. If it is having a particular pattern, it can definitely be changed. All of us, even if the person who has turned negative in the later part of the life, all of us are having growth mindset. We are positive. Remember the times when we were child? Anything was new challenge. Every child wants to just learn, touch different things, feel different things, walk, talk, do any different kinds of. I'm not afraid that they will fall down or something is hot. They will touch it and they will feel the experience. So they do not have any barriers in their mind. Child is definitely having a positive mindset. So over the period of time, what happened? See these gestures. So a person gradually turns because of the belief systems which they develop because of themselves, or they can be having because of the environment, that they turn into a fixed mindset. Now understanding this, what we can do is we can make people more aware. We can create the awareness in ourselves, and then we can work towards pairing it. Naturally, there are few people who do have greater resilience, who do exhibit greater resilience. So, but it is not that a person who is having a fixed mindset or a negative mindset cannot be changed. These experiments have also been fruitful in community level and even in the people who are there in prison. So Carol Dweck, she has worked with different people taking this concept, and even community mobilization could be done. So it's a very powerful thing we are learning today, which we can apply and convert the people who are negative around us into positive people. We might have, like I might be as a professional having a growth mindset when I'm talking about my work. But as a parent, if I'm thinking, many times it would happen when your child comes up with not having A grade, or is not passing, or is not having some good result. The parent can definitely say, you can relate with this, that, oh, you are not good. So what we do usually is, over the period of time, we ignore and we start praising the child for the grades, for the results that they have achieved. But we do not appreciate them for the effort. So if you accept your child the way the child is, instead of giving them the appreciation on the results, on the final outcome, if you start appreciating them on the way they have put in their effort, they will turn into positive people. They will work hard, they will put in more efforts, and they will never become negative. And thus, it's not only up to us, but what we are going to create. We do not want bad for the child, but unfortunately, what is happening is we are getting them into a fixed mindset so that they will try to relate that, okay, if my result is going to come, then only my parents are going to be happy about it. Then only my classmates are going to support him. But even if the teacher is also doing this similar thing, putting more effort, more emphasis on efforts, appreciating the child on efforts, and if parent is also doing the same, the child will think that not yet. I have not achieved that result yet. There are few of the schools and colleges which are working on this concept, and they have actually got good results. One of the experiment and paper published by Dweck, she saw that there were two groups. One was a control group which was not appreciated for their efforts, which was rather appreciated for their scores. So these child over the period of time, they did not show good performance. But those group of people or those children who were consistently being motivated for their results, for their efforts, what they have put on the scorecard, they perform well over the period of time. Just try to correlate it when you are a child, somebody who was always coming first in the class. Now, over the period of time when they are in their professional careers, are they succeeding, or those children who had certain limitations, who were not doing excellent in their class, they are successful now? If we try to compare it with, you must have seen general results like for IITs, IIMs, etc., specifically for IITs or competitive exams, you will find that the people from humble backgrounds, they are performing well. As compared to the students who are coming from the affluent backgrounds, they were having all the facilities, but still they are not performing that way so that they can clear the examination. Why does it happen so? So similar kind of thinking was there of Carol Dweck. What she found out was about the mindset. The children who are born in the affluent families, they are complacent, they do not have that challenge, they are already pleased with the kind of the remarks which they are getting in. It's not basically associated with the scorecard. Whether those children who are not having sufficient resources, they do not want to stand in those conditions, they have faced the challenges in their life, and therefore they want to overcome because they think it as a chance to break that barrier, to perform well, to work hard and accomplish that what they were not having, what they were lacking in their life. So if we understand that as a mentor, we would be definitely more impactful to our children. We will be getting definitely better results. What happens over here? These are two pictures. This is one with the fixed mindset. If they are creating some kind of an error, the mind is not processing, it is not taking it up because they have already told themselves, because of their belief system, that yes, it was not meant for me, I'm not talented, I'm not skilled, I'm not able to do that. So they are not having that fire in their mind. As if you compare it with the mind scan of a person who is having growth mindset, you will see the entire mind is on fire. They want to find out, they want to figure out if there is some error, then how can I solve it? What was the mistake? What was the bottleneck? How I can do better? So basically, this is, we can summarize it as BAG. There are three things. One is the belief system. What you believe will lead to the action. If you believe you are talented and intelligent, or only talent and intelligence is going to help you out, you are not going to take action. You are, what your action will be, you just want to be dormant. You don't want to take up the challenge. And if you have the belief system, okay, I will take this challenge and I will do something, then it will lead to finally the growth. So fuel for taking up the action is your belief system. And where the good part is that you can always work and change your belief. If you get to know that this is the problem area, the problem you don't have to see in the growth, you don't have to see in the outside environment. The problem area you have to see in the belief system. If in a company, as a manager, as the owner of the company, if you find some problem, just go and think about the psychology of the people who are working. So working on that for the team at a larger level, for the country, or even at your own level, you can definitely change the concept. How does the mind work? it has two modes. One is the default, that is the autopilot mode. Most of the things you do not think about, but they happen. So 46.9% time it is on the autopilot mode. But if we want to change the negative mindset, if there is negative mindset and it is on the autopilot mode, it is definitely going to be destructive. So just think about it. And if you want to change this negative mindset to the positive mindset, you have, what you need to do is you need to start writing. You need to figure it out, because if you are finding some blockage with yourself also, you need to write it down. How will you figure it out? What is the point where you are having the blockage? Your own team. So don't rely upon others that somebody else will come and point it out to you, or somebody else will motivate you. You have to motivate yourself. You have to figure it out. Start journaling, start writing, start making mind maps. Mind maps is one of the way in which you can do this successfully. I will show you how we will be creating mind maps. So this is always a choice. You have to stop self-defeating thoughts, even if they're coming to you. If somebody says that, okay, you are a housewife and now you have to learn the driving the car. So the first thing is, oh, if I am not able to understand, and if I do an accident or something like that, so I cannot take up that. So if you cannot, you will never be able to learn. If you don't sit at the driver's seat, you are not going to achieve the success. You will never have that. So you have to dream. Okay, I have to drive long distance. So you will take up that challenge. Stop self-defeating thoughts. And if somebody gives you a feedback, don't get defensive. Don't give them the justification for that. Try to take it in a positive way and work on whatever feedback you have received. It can be on anything. So what we need to do is we need to do the shift, and it will definitely take time. First point is that you need to be aware. How you will get to know about it? By journaling, by writing it down. Because somebody else telling you that where is your blockage is not going to be there. You only have to create that awareness. Then you have to put in hard work, and then you will achieve the result. But again, you need to be aware about it. Even if you have the growth mindset, why you need to be aware? Because over the period of time, you can shift back into a fixed mindset again. So it's something that you need to consistently work upon. It's not like that it will happen. Once it is done, it is done. You were born with a growth mindset, but you have landed up into a fixed mindset. So over the period of time, because you were not aware, you were not conscious about it, it happened, it fall back onto something which was negative. There is another concept which is called as neuroplasticity. This person, he is the father of neuroplasticity. As per him and the experiments which he has done, he proves that the brain can be tamed to think in a different way. Whatever we are thinking is because of the processing of the signals between the two neurons. And this processing can be shifted. If they are connecting in a particular way, you can change the pathway. So if you have some bad memories, now it has created a bad mindset. Supposing somebody has met with an accident, and thereafter, before that, that person was having a growth mindset or was always driving somewhere. But after that, there is a blockage which is being created. So you have to consistently give these signals to your mind that that was one of the incidents. It is not going to happen next time. So you do not need to worry. You do not have to keep yourself away from that. You have to take up the challenge so that you overcome that fear. It is also going to help you in a different way, because you have taken up the challenge. You will be gifted by certain rewards. What you have to think about brain as that it is sort of a muscle. If you want to work up on your body, somebody is going to the gym for bodybuilding, then one day you do push-ups. Do you see that the results are there? No. You have to work over a period of time, and then you have to make or tame that muscle in a way that it looks in a particular way you want. So brain is also like a muscle. You have to work on it consistently. Stop the signals which are giving you the negative mindset, and once that will only happen once you have realized it. So awareness needs to be there. It is primary. Mistakes, if you make, it is very much desirable that you make the mistakes. If in first chance, if you get by fluke success, then it is not going to help you out. What is going to help you out is that you have done mistakes and you are trying. This is the proof that you are trying consistently. So it's okay to not know, but it is not okay to not try at all. So what you have to use whenever a child is coming to you as a mentor, as a teacher, we are not supposed to tell them that, oh, you are very smart or this child is very talented. Never use these two words anytime. Just appreciate them for the hard work, for the teamwork, or for the values of the value the learning process. So if you do that, definitely the culture will become such, it will be the growth mindset culture amongst the students. Nobody will be trying to nudge the other person on something else, but it would be a positive, constructive environment where your teacher, your students will be performing great. You remember those block games which you were playing nursery or your child is playing? So they keep trying. They have different blocks. They try to fix it into those sockets, but then finally they achieve the success. So the puzzle or any other game, we keep trying. We keep trying. You do not consider that, okay, I didn't do it in the first place, or the child doesn't think that way, that I didn't do, so I can never do it. You have to keep trying to come out with the solution or to get the success. So what is the reward which you will be getting in? You will feel pride when you will overcome all these fears, when you will overcome the negative mindset, the thing which is trying to pull you, you will feel the pride after getting whatever level you have reached. You will feel a sort of independence, and it is also equally important to help you persist on the track of your growth mindset. It will lead to curiosity. You will want to take more challenges further. If you remember, if you are playing a game, a video game or any sort of a thing, so one time, two times, three times you play and you succeed, then you want to level up, and then you want to win that game also. So you want to up your game, you want to face more challenges, and it will lead to more curiosity and more sense of accomplishment. So these are the rewards if you have the growth mindset on the personal level. You have to choose the right words for yourself, for others. Never say that I can't. You can always say that I have not achieved this yet. I can definitely do it. So always leave a room for improvement. If you change that concept, you change the use of words, it will create opportunity and growth in your personal and professional life both. Carol Dweck says the way we think about learning, if we think in a particular way, if we understand that, if we are aware, we can change the way we do it. Definitely what we have seen through different examples. This is more often very practically seen in the people who are working in the sports stream. Recent example we can take of Neeraj Chopra. He worked on himself. He knew that there are certain places where he is having certain shortfalls. There were other people who were also doing the javelin throw along with him. They were more powerful. They were having a kind of physique which he had to compete for. So what he learned from that feedback, which he must have got it from his coach. So he put in effort, not for 1 year, 2 years, consistently for 10 years. He was a chubby, obese child, and for reducing his weight, he was put into the gym at the age of 13 years. Over the period, for 10 years, he consistently kept working on him. There might be chances that there were certain times when he might not be feeling like that was a dream, which was far off dream that to get gold medal in Olympics. So that dream, he never thought about the outcome. What he thought about was the effort and persistence, commitment which he had, which you can see for competing with the competitors, the powerful ones. He wanted to do for his body was to make it more flexible. So to make his body flexible, see what kind of effort he has put in. So see the kind of flexibility which we cannot imagine. Even his knees are not touching when he is bending and he is getting up. So the strength of sport person remains in their palms, in their hands, in their arms and their legs. So he wanted to make it strong, and although he met with certain accidents, he had surgeries last year, but he overcome that by putting in only the effort. So if he would had got a fixed mindset, now I cannot do that, he would not have been able to achieve. To get this gold medal, he has definitely put in a lot of effort. And always you can take inspiration from looking at such videos, uh, looking at certain kind of speeches or articles which give you positive mindset. If you do that, how you will be different?
When you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside the world. Try not to bash into the walls too much. Try to have a nice family life. Have fun. Save a little money. That's a very limited life. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it. You can influence it. You can build your own things that other people can use. Once you learn that, you'll never be the same again.
So although the world may say and bring you to a fixed mindset, but it is up to you. If you change that, if you have the growth mindset, you do not limit yourself, then you can achieve anything in the world. So let's think about that what it is. Bharya, you can get the answers from the audience. I will just put forward the question. A friend has some problem and shares with you. If you want to identify whether you have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset, then you identify out of these three choices what you will be picking up. You will provide him with all the possible solutions you can think of, or you will listen to the problem and tell him that he shouldn't be worried about it, or try to from his point of view and encourage him to arrive at a solution himself. So this is not only about our mindset, but it is about the way we want to promote what kind of mindset should be right. Any answer from audience? Yeah, Manisha, I can see the third option.
Yeah, someone has said option
Yeah.
2.
Okay. So the right answer would be to promote the growth mindset, try to think from his point of view and encourage him to arrive at a solution himself. Because if you will help externally and you will say that don't get worried, as we do usually in the family, that person will never be in the condition that they will become on their, they will never be able to achieve the success, they will never be able to overcome that challenge on their own. So if you want to encourage in your child or as a mentor or as a teacher or as a parent, if you want to instill that the system, how they can challenge themselves and they can overcome those, will be point number 3. Next question. A friend has different view on an issue. You say something, the friend is saying something opposite to that of yours. Now how you behave? Correct him by telling him how your views are right. Wait for him to finish speaking so that you can counter his arguments, or listen to him and try to understand where he is coming from. Which option?
I see option 3 for this also coming in.
Okay, so option,
Yeah,
yeah,
option 3.
yeah, that's it. Option 3 is the right thing which you should do, because if you are actually the friend and you want to, you are not the enemy, or that person is not the enemy. They might have a different mindset. Mostly it happens in the political discussions when two friends are talking. So you have to understand what is his mindset and why he is talking like that. Next question is, if there is communication gap leading to confusion, if you are working in a team in the office environment, or if you are seeing that the team of the students whom you are mentoring, they are having some kind of communication gap, then what you will do? Clear the confusion and move on the next task, because there is no point discussing the problem. Analyze the reasons why communication took place and work on creating solutions so that we communicate clearly going forward. Except that the person shouldn't be trusted with communication. So everybody is coming with the right answer. That is answer number 2. So that's right. If a new thing is introduced which you are not familiar with, you will skip as lack of confidence. You will not say that it was lack of confidence. You will just skip it. Replace with the easy options. Remind self, although you don't know yet, you can put efforts to learn and excel in anything. Everybody with a growth mindset coming up with the answer 3. Very good. So it was expected from all the mentors. Yes. Answer is 3. Similarly, many of the companies, they have interview questions which are put around the thing growth mindset. They want to analyze that whether you have a growth mindset or not. The questions would be something like this. Give an example of a mission or goal you didn't think was achievable. So if I would like to say, I have had multiple careers, and one of that was with the academic world. So in academic domain, when there was one opportunity which was given to me that to set up a new college, I was working as an assistant professor, and suddenly an opportunity came where everybody didn't want to pick it up, and because they were having the fear that might be this college doesn't work out then. So when that thing came to me, I took that challenge, and then although I was not expert, you don't have to be expert right at the moment when you are starting with some challenge to overcoming that. But I took that opportunity, and then even though I didn't know that how to do, but I wanted to bring it to success, I wanted to be working well. So that was one of the things. What was it and how did you help your team try to achieve it? These are the questions which you can also think in your mind about your experiences and which you can share with your students. You can make them equipped so that when they are facing such kind of interviews, they know what to do and what to say. So what was it? I said that what was my challenge was to start up a new college right from bricks. You wanted to establish one department. You wanted to have the college run to run the course successfully. So I had to develop the team, and the team which I had was like I had a dream that I want to bring it to success, and I wanted to see that in success. But now my dream will not help me achieve that. So I had to sell my dreams to others. I had to nudge others to have their own dream, which was very well connected to my dream. If my team also thinks about it in a particular way, definitely success will be there. What helps you to bounce back when things are going badly? So it's only this thought that I don't want to fail. Maybe my effort was not 100%. I need to put in a little bit, and then I come out of it. So imagine you are playing, and in the middle of that track, somewhere you are just getting tired. If you do not do something, you are definitely going to drown. So once you have started with your journey, you just have to reach the finish line. This spirit should be there that I need to reach till the end, put in my best efforts, and the world will help you. What is your view on continuous learning? So continuous learning is the only way out to reach out, because you are not good at everything. You are putting in the effort to reach to that ultimate goal or dream, and therefore it will require a lot of learning. An example I would say about this college itself, I joined, but at that time I didn't had my PhD. I already had children who were in 5th and 6th standard. So it was difficult for a person to think that, okay, I will be doing PhD, but then I did my PhD because I wanted to have that qualification. It was not an opportunity which just came to me. I wanted to make it something respectable, and therefore I did start my learning with my learning, because earlier career was with the corporate. It was not required that I need to have my PhD. But when eventually I came into the academic domain, PhD was very much required. I finished it with flying colors, I would say. I was very satisfied with the kind of quality, effort, and work which I had done. And thereafter, I have got now more than 30 certifications in different fields. I did 2 postgraduate diplomas, and I still am on the path of learning. Whenever I have time, I learn something new. If I talk about artificial intelligence, people from my age generations would definitely think that, okay, this is not something for us. But I thought that I need to learn, and I did courses on that. Give an example of a tough or critical piece of feedback you received. So there were different things. One of the example I would like to say is feedback I received from my son. So it was like, I say that I have growth mindset, but it is not always that I will be having growth mindset in all other parts also. I also had fixed mindset because as a parent, I thought that maybe I was protective. I taught my child to drive a car, and then he picked it up and went ahead to a long distance to his school without telling me. That was the point when I was scared. I thought that maybe
Hold
you
on. Bluetooth
should
mode.
that.
Carry.
And therefore, when upon further discussion, because I always restricted him, so he said, because you love me, you are doing like that. You are not having the right mindset. Otherwise, if you will not allow me to go, I will never learn. And then what I thought, we sat together and I understood that if I will stop him, he will not let me know and he will do it on his own. In that case, it will be more damaging because the thought which comes to me is that maybe if some accident happens or if something, so what I am channelizing my thoughts is towards the negative. So now then I worked on myself after understanding, getting that feedback, and that I am not doing it right as a parent. So I need to allow him, but with certain, if I will be open and if I will allow him, he will call me up whenever he is reaching at some place. So at least I have some space and I need to consistently think about nothing is going to be bad. He is just going, he will call me up when he is reaching over there and he'll come back. So I have to continuously work on my mind and channelize it to go towards the positive. Similar kind of conditions will be experienced by every one of you. You can note it down, which will also give you a positive feedback. So inculcating a growth mindset will help in developing an empathetic mindset. It will encourage the creative process, and this is what we call it as design thinking. When you have empathy, when you have empathic mindset, you can definitely work out and solve the problem. Whatever we have discussed so far, this can be depicted through this picture of mindset. On one side, we have the fixed mindset. On the other side, we have the growth mindset. So through pictorial representation, small graphics are there, and the branches, etc. It will give you the entire overview of the topic which we have discussed. What is this picture called as? It is the mind map. So this is the second part which we will be discussing about, that what are mind maps, what are the advantages, benefits, and how we can create one mind map. So mind maps are very powerful. One example we have already seen, the entire thing has been become comprehensive. It has been summarized through this picture. Sadhguru says, if you organize your mind, then you can do anything, whatever you wish. It will happen. Definitely it will happen if you have a growth mindset, if you organize your thought. If you want to work on something new, if you organize your thought, if you put it through the mind map, you will have an overview. What are the problem areas? What are the places where you need to work, and you can work further. So although he has not talked about mind mapping, the term which it was coined by Peter Buzan, he is often called as Tony. So he is an English author and a consultant. He gave this concept of mind mapping. What mind map is usually, it's a picture or it's a graphical representation wherein in the center you have the main idea from where there will be different branches and which will be giving you further description, but it will be few words. It will not be in sentences. What you are going to have is more of colors, more of branches. It is something like a Google map. When you see, it is somewhere like if you zoom in, you will see that there are different streets which are coming. So main streets are there, and then further channelizing into small streets are there. So highways, then roads, then you have further streets. So similar to that, this is your mind map. You talk about Rangoli, You start making it from the center and then you create it and develop it towards the end. So this is how it looks like. Another question. What is a mind map, do you think, after seeing this? It's a diagram which is having information and it is represented visually, usually with a central idea placed in the middle and associated ideas arranged around it. Or it is an arrangement of images, materials, pieces of text. Yeah, Rama ma'am. Yes, definitely the answer is 1. So what are the advantages of mind map? If you create a mind map of anything, even if you're studying or if it's your business project, or if you are having, even if you talk about the Thinkerpreneur bootcamp which we were doing, many of you must be using your paper, pen, pencil, whatever you are having, different colors. This student has given this assignment, this is not done. Maybe in the initial stage you have made, or in the final stage, somewhere or the other you have done this work. So it gives more structure. It is you are able to manage it on a single piece of paper. You do not have big sheets, or you do not require big copies for that. It will also help in memorizing of the knowledge. So these are the key advantages of creating a mind map. If I talk about growth mindset, only one single mind map, and yes, I show you that and you know that what entire discussion would be around. Application, it has applications in various fields, not only in understanding and diagnosing something for whether you have the growth mindset or not. It is a very important technique which you can use it for making of the notes, taking up of the notes, for brainstorming. When you are using it with design thinking for ideation purpose, this is an excellent way in you can create the ideas. You can jot down the ideas and find out which are the most powerful ones. It can be used in problem solving, whether it is business or any other kind of personal issues, problems, even a doctor can do for diagnosis, studying and memorizing, planning, researching and consolidating the information from multiple sources, for presenting the information, for gaining insights on complex subjects, and for diagnosis and therapy. Even for psychotherapy, when the doctor doesn't know actually what is the problem with the patient, many a times it has been used successfully. And it has been seen then even for making yourself persistent on the track of growth mindset, whether you are doing it right or wrong, you have to create a mind map for yourself. If you do note taking by this method, as compared to the conventional method, there is an increase in 15% of efficiency when we talk about learning. What are the benefits? We can view the entire topic at a glance, or the entire project at a glance. When the architects, they are doing that. So many people are actually using it, but they are not knowing that this is mind map, but we are doing that. Easy recollection, simplification of complex relationships, identifying the cause, helps in fluidity, helps in collaboration, creativity, flexibility. So these are different benefits which we can obtain by just creating that diagrammatic representation of the entire topic. In psychotherapy, it helps in identifying the potential, what are the areas where you need to work out, how you can overcome the obstacles, unify and balance the personality, and understand the relationships. All different kinds of issues can be solved by just creating a mind map. So nowadays, even the psychologists are creating, they're sitting with the patient and they're creating the mind map to exactly identify, because when they ask the patient will not be able to say that this is the problem. So you have to identify how you will identify and how you will connect it. If the doctor is only listening and having just a checklist, it will not help. But which point is creating a trigger for which kind of outcome, and what is the personality disorder, or what is the issue with the relationship the person is facing with, so that can be easily identified through mind map. There was a survey which was conducted for business group, and what it was found was that 92% of the people who were being surveyed, they said that it helps in distilling the information and reaching to clarity faster. And many of them said that somebody said they were saving 1 hour per week, somebody went to 7 hours per week. So there were differing answers, but finally everybody said, 92% of the population said that it helps in distilling the information, reaching the clarity faster. 83% said that it shares their ideas with greater clarity and impact. 81% said that they can manage the project more efficiently. 67% said that it helps in identifying the root cause of the business problem. So actually, when you create a mind map, your main topic or title or heading will be there in the center. Then you will use one particular kind of color. Then you will be having branches coming out in different directions, as many number of subtopics you want to add. You put it in a different color. So you are using the combination of colors and diagrams and pictures and flow out, graphics, everything. So your brain memorizes it faster. If you want to remember something, you even want to remember the number of your this vehicle. What you will try to correlate is with some image. So those experts who try to train you on improving your retention power, they also talk about graphics. They also talk about the importance of color. This is the way our mind will remember. Then you can have keywords for the entire statement. You have read it through. If you are making a comprehensive summary of some complicated topic, if it is for engineering or if it is for medicine or something, then in that case, what you will do is just write it in the form of a keyword, so which you can remember, and then the entire story will be clicking to you. So once you do it like this, at the time of examination, you don't have to go through the entire book. You just can see one sheet and one chapter is done. So this is how you can train your students as well. If it is for business purpose, you can see this. You can have a business idea when you are doing the initial brainstorming, even in the later stages. What will be the team who will be working on that, and what is the current market scenario? We make the marketing plan, but then it is on different sheets. That should be the final part of the report. But when you are working initially, it should be something like this, so that everything is there in front of you. You can identify where the problem is or what needs further modification. So this is how it will be. If you are doing for studies, you can see it was such a boring thing to go through this, and at the time of examination, number of chapters and everything will be so many things will be there. Students will be under pressure. So initially, when they are reading through the chapter, you need to have the basic criteria is to have standard books and standard reading material. Thereafter, the child can have such kind of a sheet which can be prepared. So I will be showing you one video also, which you can share with your students. Yes, I will definitely share. Yeah, I will also talk about the tools. So this is the way how you can create the mind map manually, and your student can use it as well. These are different kinds of tools which are normally used. There are many more. Even if you see from your Play Store, you can download a lot of mind mapping tools. But these are the ones which are most popular ones, and they are very good, easy. They have more features. So I will also show you the demonstration of one of the tools, that is MindMeister. So this is how you can create the mind map for yourself. And these kinds of tools are there, they're extremely easy. The better part is when you are using the tool, you can have the space management, you can change the arrows from one place, you can change the position. Besides, what you can do is you can add on the pictures, you can have the transition effect, you can show it as a presentation in itself when the initial discussions are going on. Even you can have the entire team on board, wherein they can come and do their part, they can keep adding different things, and we can also see that if modification is possible at all the levels. So once you start using these tools, you will never look back, and you will not switch over to the manual way of mapping. So that's how I would like to end with the presentation, and I will definitely share the link for the videos which I have shown. Besides that, if anybody has any questions or any remarks, feedback.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.